everyone. You're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. There is a big political face-off in the state of Rajasthan right ahead of the state elections. The widows of the Pulwama martyrs have demanded government jobs for extended family members. They have been protesting for over a week, accusing the state government and the state police of harassment, and that the state government has not lived up to its promise. The widows were in fact detained late last night by the police as they refused to relent, demanding immediate government aid. After Sachin Pilot met the widows and urged the Chief Minister to relax the government rules as well as take action against the errant cops, the Chief Minister has refused to budge, saying government jobs are meant only for the children of martyrs, not extended family members. The Chief Minister has made it clear that he will not set a wrong precedent under political pressure. But the BJP has taken a direct shot at the Chief Minister, accusing him of insulting military families and treating them as common criminals. BJP workers also clashed with the police, demanding the state government deliver justice to the widows. The political showdown is only escalating between the BJP and the Congress. But the big question remains, is it hampering a solution or a middle ground when addressing the plight of the Pulwama widows?
आखिर ऐसा क्या मांग रही हैं वीरांगनाएं? और ऐसी क्या बात है कि राजस्थान सरकार के मुख्यमंत्री उनसे मिलने से मना कर रहे हैं? ये कांग्रेस पार्टी झूठी पार्टी है और झूठे वादे करती है।
And earlier today, I spoke to BJP MP Rajavardhan Rathore, and I began by asking him, Mr. Rathore, you did a press conference in which you raised concerns regarding the Pulwama martyrs family in the context of your home state. The latest issue is, of course, of Pulwama martyrs' wife, in fact, widow being manhandled and assaulted by the Rajasthan police because they were demanding their rights. What they were demanding was something that was promised to them. Does it actually put the focus on how the Congress response to the martyr and armed forces in general has been? What do you really want from the Ashok Gehlot government?
See, you have to see the issue in its entirety. There are certain rules, regulations for those killed in action, for as you usually call martyrs. There's central government that gives them benefit. There's the armed forces, then there's the state government that gives them benefits. Now, the other issue is, especially when Pulwama happened, emotions were very high. The video, if you would please show to the people, is of the time when the last rites were happening of one of the martyrs. And that's where the Chief Minister, then Chief Minister, and the present Chief Minister had sent his emissaries, his ministers, to speak to the family. Now, those ministers who were there with the authority of the Chief Minister promised certain things to the family. Now, either they were plainly lying and giving fake promises, or they didn't even know what they were talking about. So the Chief Minister is responsible for things that were promised to the family then. Now for the Chief Minister to say, look, here are the rules and regulations, is incorrect, because something was promised to the families at that point of time. Mind you, at that point of time, the elections were round the corner, and therefore it becomes very, very convenient for Congress to give fake promises, false promises, exactly what they did with the unemployed youth, to say that hum aapko berojgari bhatta denge. Exactly what they did for the Kisan, saying that in 10 days your loans will be waived off. I mean, everything is a farce for Congress. And now, so these two things. And now just the plain attitude of how do you treat a martyr's family? How do you treat a family of the person killed in action? Are you going to mistreat them on the roads? Are you going to drag them on the roads? Are you going to beat them with sticks? Are you going to use your police force for them? If you have the might, why don't you use your police force on those who are breaking law and order? There's enough number of cases in Rajasthan where people are taking the law in their own hands. Why is the police not acting there? You want to use your police might on these people? And tell me, why can't the chief minister just plain simply meet these families? Is he so scared of these families of the martyrs? Because perhaps he's scared because he's promised them something that he cannot deliver. And he's promised them on the pretext of the elections. Now Chief Minister goes to Delhi regularly for that National Herald case, is a 5,000 crore scam. He goes there, but he doesn't have the time to meet the families.
Yes. Since you're talking about the demands, Mr. Rathore, these demands are legitimate, certainly, because if you look at it, asking for construction of roads in the village is what these family wants. They are asking for jobs to relatives on ground of compensation as promised. Since the BJP has sought the intervention of the governor, what's next? You are saying that these promises were timed with election and nothing has been delivered. Evidently, how is the BJP planning to take this up?
No, but first I must tell you that what are these asking? What are the martyrs' families asking? One of the families, and the chief minister has remarked in his Twitter that is asking for the third statue to be placed in the center of the city. So here is a family, Gandhi family, who has 400 schemes on their name, but a battle casualty, a martyr, for him to have the third statue is asking for too much. I mean, even if they're asking for third statue, what is so big about it? Cannot the chief minister talk to the family and perhaps put the third statue? It's so small and he's not even willing to meet them. That's the issue. The minister in the video is clearly promising a job for the brother-in-law of the lady whose husband died. Right? Now, once he's promised, either he's a minister, he's standing there with an authority. If he's promised, live up to your promise. Don't quote us rules. No, don't forget us. Don't quote the family the rules. There has to be certain respect. So they're asking for schools to be named after them. They're asking for roads to be made. Roads are for the benefit of everyone. So what is so big that they are asking that you're not even willing to meet them? Now coming to what is our party doing? Of course, we are raising this matter. We want this matter to be settled amicably. We respect those killed in action. We respect, for us, India comes first. It's very straight and simple. And anybody who's strengthening the nation, whether it is in economic might, whether it's military might, is number one family for us. So these martyrs' families are number one family. As far as any VIP is concerned, these are the VIPs for us. But for Congress, unfortunately, no. They use them for their politicking. Now they're thrashing them. It's just disgusting and disgraceful. The chief minister should meet them. That is the first thing that should happen. Okay. And of course, either you have respect for those who are fighting for the nation or you don't have. So I don't think so. We can now say that Congress should have respect for those fighting for the nation. Perhaps they can never have, because you see Rahul Gandhi, how often he's questioning. He's questioning about the surgical strikes. He's questioning about what is happening in Galwan, whether the Indian army is getting beaten up there. That's what he's stating there. So these people cannot ever be taught how to respect the armed forces or the families of the armed forces. So let's forget about that.
Mr. Rathore, last question to you. Should there be a code for how all governments deal with armed forces and martyrs to ensure uniformity in dealing with the sensitive issue of the dignity of men in uniform?
So now, Maria, you are asking something which the government should always be doing, which is taking care of, coming up with the laws to take care of the families. Now, these laws can be dynamic. It's nothing sacrosanct that they should not change as per the time. They should be dynamic. What is required is simply that, number one, the children need to be taken care of till the time they grow up. Their education needs to be taken care of. The parents of the martyr, mother and father, they need to be taken care of. The wife needs to be taken care of. And obviously, how do you raise a family? You need resources, you need money. So a job is required. Now, for the Chief Minister to say that the job is reserved for the children is fair in a way. But number one, you promised that the job will be given to the brother-in-law. Number two, till the time the children grow up, what is the family going to do? Right? So there has to be resources. These are dynamic problems. The problems cannot be very static. That there's a formula laga diya, us formula se sab kuch hota rahega. These situations are dynamic, and that's why governments are formed. That's why people with a heart to take care of the people who strengthen the nation, they need to be taken care of. At this point of time, government of Rajasthan needs to play the role of parents for this family, which unfortunately, look at the way they are doing. That is what they need to do. If they need to learn lessons from us, if they need to learn how to make policies for us, they can always come up to us. We as opposition are always willing to help. But number one thing is the Chief Minister needs to listen to these people.
Yes, thank you so much for your time, Rajvardhan Rathore. They are raising the question as to why the Chief Minister has not even visited the family. That's a legitimate question to ask. Joining me on the panel now, Shahzad Poonawala, BJP National Spokesperson here in the studio, Advocate Mahima Singh, Congress Spokesperson. We also have General KJ Singh, Defence Expert. Mahima Singh, Pulwama attack has unfortunately been at the centre of political controversy. If the Congress has been questioning the attacks itself and imputing a conspiracy angle, then one may say that this insensitivity is only expected.
Good evening, Maria. Good evening, all. I am reminded of the treason committed by Arnab Goswami when I think of Pulwama. This attack, we have won like crazy. And the silence of the BJP and the Prime Minister to that treason. And the silence of the BJP and the Prime Minister to the Pulwama attack itself. The Prime Minister, what was he doing when Pulwama attack happened? That's yet to be answered. And, why did he not speak up immediately? Why did he keep mum? And today we hear the BJP talking about women, youth, employment. We hear them talking about a dialogue. This is the same BJP which about a month ago in Joshimath, we heard from the civil societies that the CM, Mr. Pushkar Singh Dhami, was not even allowing 40 seconds to the civil societies to talk to them. So first of all, they are hypocrites, this party.
But Mahima Singh, you haven't answered my question. If the family is asking for one more statue, when the Gandhis actually have 400, then why is the demand so illegitimate? And it cannot be one size fit all. If the rule is that it will be for the next of kin, but if the children are small, then how do you take care of them? And it's only legitimate that the job should be passing on to someone else. And why did the minister make that promise that the brother-in-law will get the job? He certainly was aware of the rules.
Maria, a head of the state definitely has to undertake many aspects and has to look from various perspectives while acting. Unlike the BJP that doesn't even talk about jobs and youth and inflation and women, the critical issues that are hitting the country today. The Congress party in all the states where we are ruling, we are walking the talk. We are doing, we are taking actions in the interest of all the stakeholders.
Okay. So you have still not answered my question, and I want to understand from General KJ Singh. General KJ Singh, I'd asked my research team to get details of what the states should do and what the governments must do in case of a casualty of this nature. When jawans give up their lives for the motherland, and there is a fixed, a rule to follow. But it's a situation that is dynamic, as Rajvardhan Rathore was rightly pointing out. If in this particular case, the minister goes and says that brother-in-law will be eligible, knowing fully well that it is for the children only, then why were these promises in fact made?
Maria, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Firstly, I am appalled and I am very distressed by the fact that people are not meeting the families.
Yes.
That courtesy must be definitely extended. Stepping aside from the politics, I would like to say that I don't fully agree with Rajyavardhan's remarks, Honorable MP's remarks, because there has to be a common policy in the country Unfortunately, Rajasthan is a laggard. It is lagging behind. And I was advisor to Haryana Chief Minister on Veteran Affairs. And I must tell you that they must take the Haryana model, wherein they give nearly the best package. So, a center should structure a meeting, and it should be a common kind of a model which should be put in place. So what do we do in Haryana? In Haryana, we give a job. We preferably give it to the wife. If wife is not educated and not willing to take the job, she can nominate somebody, and at that time, wife forgoes her right. And children also forgo that right. Job is only one. So here is some kind of a solution.
And when children grow up, they can take up that job. I mean, is that option available for future?
Maria? Yeah, for future they must get free education, and putting a statue, naming the road, these are very normal things. They don't cost much. In any case, it builds up confidence of those village people. So that I think should be done immediately. So I don't know why Rajasthan government is dithering on such things which are doable, and what to me looks sensible is give the job to brother, but take some kind of guarantee that the children of this braveheart, this Veer Nari, will be looked after, and give them free education.
Yes.
Try and put them in the Sainik school so that they get good education. Okay. And they build up the legacy of this braveheart.
Yes, absolutely. What I'm in full agreement with you, General Singh, is that basic courtesy of the meeting should have been extended, which hasn't been done. Shahzad Poonawalla, your response to what Mahima Singh said.
First of all, look, let's understand that शहीदों का और सेना का अपमान ये बन चुका है कांग्रेस की पहचान. Whether it's saying पिटाई हो गई सेना की, demanding proof for surgical strike, doubting Balakot, or once upon a time Sandeep Dixit had said Sadak ka gunda for the army chief. This is the structure in which the Congress operates, and in fact, you rightly said that at the time when Rahul Gandhi says that this is a car bomb, it's not a terror attack. At the same time, in a sense, to take that idea forward, the Rajasthan government, forget giving them the basic rights. What we are basically expecting is that you treat the person with dignity. Saris were being torn. Please show the visuals of the first day protest, Maria. At that time, saris were being torn in a state which runs on ladki hu lad sakti hu. Women were being beaten up by the Rajasthan police, and last night they get picked up at 3 a.m. My only question is, when is the last time a dangai called Matloob Ahmed got picked up at 3 a.m.? Any aparadi or a balatkari like Mahesh Joshi's son got picked up at 3 a.m. And forget what BJP is saying. Leave the BJP out. Here is Mr. Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot to hamari party mein nahi hai na? Sachin Pilot ne bola hai ki I would want punishment, and it is unapologetic behavior. It is completely unapologetic behavior that has been shown, and there is a non-fulfillment of promises. So Sandeep, Mr. Sachin Pilot is saying this. Now another interesting thing, Rajasthan Chief Minister, the head of the state apparently, has all the time to go and meet Mr. Junaid and Nasir's family, which he should as the head of that state. He should go and meet. Which rules was he following there? But when it comes to the Martyrs family, suddenly all the rules, etc. have come up. So this shows that for vote bank politics, and forget everything else. Mahima ji, can I just ask you one thing as a younger brother to you? Do you even know the names of the 3 martyrs whose wives or widows are on the streets? I would be very obliged if you could name the 3 martyrs who laid down their lives from Rajasthan, whose widows are on the streets. Let's see if you have any courtesy for them. Do you know their names?
Will not act at the behest of the BJP.
I know you don't know their names, so let me please. You won't give them, Mahima ji. I understand you have not even had the courtesy to read up about those 3 bravehearts. So let me use this platform for Maria's platform. Maria, if I may just complete. I'm just making the last statement, Maria.
Yes, quickly.
If I may quickly.
Shahzad, make your point. Mahima, I'm coming to
Maria,
you. Just a moment. Yes.
राजस्थान की सरकार चाहे आपको न्याय दे ना दे, मैं रोहिताश लांबा जी, हेमराज मीना जी और जीतराम गुजर जी आपके शहादत को नमन करता हूं और आपके परिवारों के सामने नतमस्तक होता हूं. कांग्रेस की सरकार है, वो शहीदों का बार बार अपमान तो वैसे ही करती, उनका चरित्र है, पर मैं नतमस्तक करता हूं. कोई सड़क आपके नाम पे रखे ना रखे राजस्थान में, पूरा देश आपके लिए हमेशा कृतज्ञ रहेगा.
Okay. Mahima, you know, the point being made here is of a larger insensitivity. Only recently, during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Digvijay Singh, a senior Congress leader, raised the issue of Pulwama being a conspiracy and a pre-planned attack. The Congress and Mr. Gandhi himself had distanced themselves, saying it didn't seem, distanced themselves, but somehow it did not really seem convincing. The Congress somehow, even right now, is being convenient.
Maria, it's very interesting that, the basic courtesy that you were talking about was never questioned in the case of the Prime Minister when he refused to meet the farmers for 1.5 long years. The farmers sat on the boundaries of the national capital, and the Prime Minister, who was just a few kilometers away, could not have the courtesy to drive down to that site where about 1,000 farmers died. Isn't that martyrdom in a historical protest? Now, when you pick and choose where you want to, I'm talking about the head of the country. You are talking about the head of a state, wherein you are saying, those statues to ban gaye, teesra kyun nahi bana sakte? I am saying that, this is like...
Shouldn't the state be the parent of these children?
Also, it is...
Ma'am, shouldn't the state be the parent of these children, is my question, ma'am.
The state is responsible for these children,
Yes.
and all the children. The state is responsible for the farmers that died on the boundary, and the PM is answerable. Instead, look at the audacity of the BJP. Instead of understanding and instead of living up to their accountability and answerability as the ruling party of the country, the Prime Minister who kept mum, can the BJP spokesperson tell me why did the Prime Minister keep mum on a Pulwama? Why did he speak only
Shahzad,
hours
respond to
after
this.
that? Why was he too busy? He has the audacity.
Yes, please, go ahead.
On the names
So
of
basically the question is that you are in no position to question the Congress party when you have not answered the question that the Congress has raised.
Okay, may I address one by one?
Haan.
We were silent on Pulwama. We did Balakot airstrike, unlike 26/11, where after saying that these are the terror camps by Fali Major, we did not take any action. We gave Pakistan most favored nation status. It was written by Manish Tiwari in his book and by Barack Obama ji. But anyways, let me see. Now see, they are drawing the wedge between Kisan and Jawan. By the way, in the Kisan issue, you demanded that they have a right to protest. So how come these widows don't have right to protest and you drag them by the sadi? Mahima ji, think like a mother or a sister or a woman today. I request you to do that. Ma'am, let me complete my say. I did not interrupt you. Mahima, in the interest of a good debate, let me complete, then you can speak. Let's have a courteous debate. Thirdly, look at the pattern of the Congress. It's not about the third statue, Maria. National War Memorial 50 वर्ष और आपने वहां से रिपोर्टिंग की है. Denied by Congress. OROP 45 वर्ष denied by Congress. हमारे साथ लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल बैठे, पूछे बुलेट प्रूफ जैकेट मरिया 8 वर्ष बुलेट प्रूफ जैकेट नहीं खरीदा इन लोगों ने. आज तक इस देश में AK-47 वाली सीरीज की राइफल मैन्युफैक्चर नहीं करने दी, और रफाल खरीदने गए तो रफाल में चोरी हुई है ये बोलकर हमें वो प्लेन्स ना मिले, इसके लिए सारे षड्यंत्र रचे गए. दिस इज द कांग्रेस पार्टी. And I completely agree with sir that look, the armed forces, when they lay down their lives for us, they are not looking for a road being named or anything, but at least we can give them the basic courtesy that you don't drag them by their hair and their sari. महिमा जी, बाकी तो छोड़ दीजिए, आपकी सरकार नहीं कर पाएगी, आपने 4 साल से वादे तोड़े, पर कम से कम पुलिस से डंडे तो मत
Will there be action against these cops, Mahima?
As I said, the CM is acting in the interest of law and justice, Maria, and let me just say, he's talking about OROP.
No, but Mahima, when we look at these visuals, it's certainly visuals of police high-handedness. Will action be taken against these cops?
I've been raising my hand, Maria. Please allow me to complete my thought. He was talking about OROP. I'm immediately reminded of Mr. Jait Malani's confession, which is doing rounds on social media yet again, where it is talked about how the BJP befooled the nation, befooled him into trusting them. And let me just say that the BJP will play the politics of sympathy because they are hypocrites, as I said earlier. And they will talk about, pulling off sari and not giving time to the women today. They will not talk about why did they remit the convicts of Bilkis Bano. They will not talk about why did the CM in Uttarakhand not give even few minutes to the stakeholders of Joshi Math. They will not
General
talk about...
KJ Singh, I'll give you the final word. Moving away from politics, Shahzad.
Yeah.
General KJ Singh, my basic argument is that shouldn't there be greater sensitivity in dealing with such families?
Maria, it is non-negotiable. It takes very little to come out, have a dialogue with this family.
Yes.
If you have some rules which prevent you from giving a government job, you can always arrange a job through NGO or some other social organization. State is a huge, big machinery. And I must also put on record here that very few states are looking at welfare of Ardh Sainik Bal, which is Central Armed Police Forces, and country must wake up to this need. Today, Central Armed Police Forces are becoming nearly as big as armed forces themselves. And here again, I will quote to you Haryana government example. In Haryana, the Sainik Welfare Department has been merged, and Ardh Sainik Bal has also been joined with that. So it's time, stepping aside from politics, that all state governments must look at the welfare of Central Armed Police Force.
So you're essentially saying, General Singh,
doing
that there
equal
is a
amount of
model,
things.
perhaps Rajasthan government can look at this model of Haryana government and look at ways in which the family can be taken care of. Because state certainly is responsible here, and the state has to be acting like a parent, which hasn't been the case in this particular unfortunate story. Advocate Mahima Singh and General Singh, really appreciate your time. Shehzad will be continuing with us in the second debate as well. Shifting focus now, there has been no legal relief for Manish Sisodia in the Liquor Gate probe. Just a day after he was arrested by the ED, that is in